Hey guys, how's it going? This is Aiden with Father's Land Surveying, also DBA Capstone. Um, Coming back at you with a 3D drawing. How to do the 3D drawing here. All right, let's jump into it. So here we go. Previously showed you guys here how we got these 3D polylines. Um, See 3D polyline there. So here's what we're gonna do. I have a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff is pre-set up already. So a lot of it's from a lot of time just spending and getting all these templates just right. So that being said, I have these point groups that every time I open a new project, the point groups already come in properly. And one of those point groups is surf points. Also, in addition, I have a surface that's already pre comes in on the template. It says EG, existing grade, and it also it's defined by a point group, and that point group is surf points. So let's just explore those properties here. So my surf point is everything with a GS or an AC, or it can also be a specific numbers that I that I choose to include in here. So all I gotta do is right click that and hit update. Boom, look at that, and it brings in all my stuff there, all my ground shots and everything. So, okay, so let me do this. So now what I want to do is I want to add some break lines. So I don't know if you guys remember, actually, well, you wouldn't remember. You would have had to watch the other video. That we're gonna actually pair this by adding some lidar because it looks like the crew missed. I told them I'll just splice this stuff in with lidar. So let's finish just adding the break lines though. So I'm gonna hit this break line, right click, select similar. So that's gonna go ahead and add in all these break lines here. That's my lunch. So we'll go what type? Breaks, all caps, boom. Okay. So it looks a lot better already. It added all these break lines. It looks really good already. Um, see, let's see. So we had some issues here we had to clean up. So we have this back of sidewalk. So I'll probably not use this back of sidewalk as a break line. Let me go to 1:1 so I can really see. I mean, it's the same. This back of sidewalk 5923, 5922. So I'm pretty much just gonna hold the break line, and maybe it looks like he missed something there. So maybe I'll add, because you don't want to have crossing break lines. So maybe I'll just add, instead of adding those as break lines, I'm going to go to my surf points here, include BS, oops, comma, BSW, asterisk. That just adds everything after the BSW. BSW1, if you do BSW2, it includes all those. Okay, boom, it updated it a little bit. Alright, so now I want to add, let's see what else we got. So this is a break line. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and go to my surface properties, surface style. I'm going to go here to triangles, turn on my triangles. So I want to see if these break lines, yep, these really did get included here. See the tin surface follows the break line. It should follow your break line. So let's see. So let's get this line here added as a break line. So we didn't add, oh no, TC, that's the TC, okay. So let's get the TC in here. This is a flow line. Let's get all the flow lines in here. Select similar. Looks like I got 3 flow lines. Break lines, add. Let's get flow lines. Alright. So let's get this EP going. Right click, select similar, EP. So it's add EP. Okay. And now let's get these TCs. Right click, TC. Select similar, TCs. Alright. And I think I want to get this econ in here too. So I think I want this econ to show some contours. So I'll go econ way. Oh, okay. So let's add in, I want to add some of these conch shots here. So include, so let me bring up the scale so you guys can actually see what's going on here. So I'm gonna go to surf points, properties, include conch, 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 conch there. Okay, so it's pretty flat. I thought it was probably going down a little bit. That's okay. All right, so now we're going to want to uh, obviously delete the lines going through the building. So it looks like we're probably gonna want to add. It looks like just for the sake, let's add all these conch shots in just generally here. Conch apostrophe apply. Boom, that brings all those conchs. Let's add all these econs here. I'm not gonna add in these econs, so you hold down shift. It minuses it and select those, so that takes them away. I can add that econ, sure. And these are all the econs that it'll add, sure. I'll add all those in. Okay, it adds that little. I don't really need this econ either. Okay, so break lines, add, go econs. All right, looks like we got a crossing break line somewhere here. So we got some issue. What is this? This is the R wall. Let's pull this back a little bit. Really got to zoom in for it to really make a difference. Okay, let's see here. So it looks like we got a bunch of edge of gravel roads. So I'm gonna actually add this EG edge of gravel here too. EG southwest, so I can figure out what, so I know exactly what that is. See, also you don't want this pulling over here. So I'm gonna click that, edit surface, delete line. Click it, left click, and then right click, left click. It says one found, right? So left click, right click, left click, right click, left click, right click. Okay. Save that. Always, I'm always saving. And let's see here. Let's see if he got the fence. Sometimes he shoots the fence as a actual break line as well. So we have to fix this. Let's remove vertex here. Let's it should go to here. Ground shot is 65. So the same thing. We can delete that. So let's add this fence. Let's see if we add, what happens when we add this fence. Yep, looks like he shot it good. Didn't tweak out very much. Looks like it might have tweaked it out a little bit. Let's see here. Let's add this mag hub to check our ground shot there. Yeah. Okay. So we'll also corroborate a lot of that with the lidar. Swap the edge, it looks a little better. Yeah. Looks a lot better. Maybe I'll put that one back. Okay. Yeah, it looks good. So, looks really good already. So now I want to go ahead and delete some of these lines going through the building here. So I just cut all those. And this only really works if you have shots next to the building, which we do, which is good. So delete that, delete those, delete those, delete those. Yeah, I don't need none of that stuff. See, that's going way up there, so that tells me this is up at a way higher elevation. And always remember, I escape it out and save, because if you're doing these multiple edits, if you do a bad edit and hit undo, it will pretty much erase your whole progress. Like, for example, if I do this edit here, do this edit here, and delete all these lines and go for like 5 minutes making all these edits, and I go, oh crap, I don't want to do that. And if you hit Control Z, it'll undo all those edits. So once in a while, if you're doing like a bunch of these, just hit that one, and I just hit right click, get out of it, and hit Control S. So it just saves you from having to, if you make a mistake, you can undo. It doesn't delete like a ton of your progress. Okay, so then there you go, it looks good. Looks like I might want to also delete, obviously, these. That's not right. That's going somewhere else. Okay. Huh. So this back of sidewalk didn't come in as a break line. Maybe I do want to add this as a break line. I don't think my BSWs, they did come in, but why didn't this guy come in? Because this should be going to the BSW. So let me, so we have to clean up this break line. This top of wall, this break line should go. So let's add a vertex. Yeah, so that's really kind of an issue. Control Z that. I want to add a vertex in there like that. So we can do here, let's do this. So I really don't want all that stuff to cross. I want this break line to be good here. So how about we break it right here? Let's break it there. That makes a little more sense. Yeah, let's do that. Back sidewalk. Yeah. Just, did I add this as a break line? Should have added it. Yeah. So where is this going to? Back sidewalk. Yeah, probably doesn't like this line here. That's okay. So let's add this guy in as a BSW. BSW1. Alright. I don't want that break line crossing. Alright. So obviously this is not right. That's going through those stairs. Delete that. Top of wall. Looks like a break line. Looks like the top of a, whatchamacallit, that's probably not right either. This is probably the break line on top of wall. So let's add this top of wall. Top of wall. Let's go east. Delete this. Oops. Delete. Okay. Also, you want to delete the econ going to the top of wall, because that's not right. It's econ going to the top of wall. Okay. This break line going down there is not right, probably as well. You can see how the contour pulls. So delete that one. That one, yeah, that's not right. But all that stuff is right. Top of wall there. Okay. And then I want to delete this guy here. Okay. Maybe even there. That makes more sense. Goes to a point there. It looks really good. It's got the crown. So I want to delete this one because he doesn't have a crown shot there. Alright, looks really good. Delete these. That's not accurate. You want a shot closer than that. All those. Okay. So here, these are steps. So I think I want to just really hide these steps. So I'm just going to delete the lines in between these steps here. That makes a lot more sense. It's really easy to do that because I have break lines in between these. We shot these well. So for now, let me just clean these up. Remember to get out of the command and save. Click that, edit, delete line. Okay, I don't need this contour here. I don't need contours going through, really going through there like that. I just want the ground shot. So this one actually, I might make this also a this is a bunch of gravel. Let me see what happens if I make this one as an image of gravel. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, and I think I'm also going to delete these here. Yeah, not really sure what this shouldn't be. I think that's a ground shot like inside of the, you know, that's inside the little landscape planner thing there. So I'll get rid of that. Also get rid of that. Okay. Makes a little more sense. Same thing here. I don't really want to show this. Did a really good job on these break lines, but okay, I don't want to show these landscape things. So I'm just deleting these lines here. It's a tedious process, but it's going to look really good. Okay. Yep, that's good. That should look how it's going to look. That's really what the land is doing, you know, they cut up in here, so you don't want these. And I probably, you know what, I probably won't even show these. That just looks weird. I'll just show spot shots in here. There you go. Yeah, I'll show spot shots in there. Control S. Get out of here like this. Delete line. Okay. I'm just cutting away all these lines that really don't matter. So the steps going up to the deck here. Looks really good. It's great when you get the break lines in the right spot. It's really great. Makes these maps look really good. I can just, oops. So here we got an error here. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Put that line back in. Whoops. Oh, I see. I gotta put that line back in. So it looks like here we'll have to do some type of hide here because we really don't have another shot. And let's see what is this little area here. It's a retaining wall. Okay, we'll do a hide in there. So we'll get rid of this deck. We don't need this deck. Oops. Okay. So I thought, yeah, so we're gonna add this from the previous video. We looked a little bit about this line here. So we're gonna add this R wall northwest. I like to specify a lot of my break lines so I know what the heck's going on. Okay, sure, we can add this one too. Let's go R wall 2. All right, there you go. Yeah, he's got a break line right in the bottom of it, so that'll be fine. Okay, get this deck out of the way. All right. Yep. Delete that there. Fortunately, he doesn't have spot shots near the building, which generally you like to get spot shots near the building. So it looks good. Looks like some funky stuff over here. Most of this stuff will get put in with lidar. So, oops. Delete line. You don't want those long lines without a ground shot. So you really gotta delete those. The long line without a ground shot is what makes it look weird. Same thing here. Long line without a ground shot. Something's going funky here. Maybe it does do that. Really long line without a ground shot there. Same deal. So we'll need to figure out how to splice that area there. Everything else looks pretty darn good though. I think this is a deck up here too. So we'll get rid of these lines we don't need. Okay. And yeah, it's looking good. And these are little landscape edges. So it looks like this was meant to be kind of actually more of like a break line. So we'll add these landscape edges in as breaks here. We'll go landscape edges. Yeah, looks like it was supposed to be something like that. Okay. Right on. All right, so I'm gonna pause it because I'm gonna get some lidar stuff here, and I will once I have that up, I will resume the video. All right. All right, guys. Repausing this video. Just had some lunch. Other half of this burrito I got last week. So if I'm a little slower, apologies. Decided to just really quickly show you guys how to get the lidar data once again from Marin County. So let me drag this over here and let me go to, I just Google Marin County lidar. Okay, data services there. Um, so this is where you get it. Download lidar. Excuse me. Lidar products and and derivatives. Countywide DEM, and then you get the large area downloads, and then you get all these zip files of all these big tiles. So I actually have all these on the server, which is great. So here's what I'm going to do. Navigate. Actually, they're not on the server. They're on a flash drive because it's a pretty hefty. Let me show you. I mean, look at the proper. Look at this. 50 gigabytes. So I didn't really want to put those on the server. So we can pass this. We can pass this flash drive around if needed. All right. So let me see. Corte Madera. I think that's usually the Tiburon tile. So let's already have a virtual surveyor project. I use virtual surveyor. Um, uh, Comment in the video or ask me a question if you need info on that. But I think it's like $150, $200 a month. It's a great program for messing with lidar and even from drone data. It's just a great program. All right, let me pause this video because my software is ended. Let me redo this and then I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, guys, paid my subscription, 150 bucks for the Ridge version, which gives you the Q points, which is really all I need. All right, so I have this big tile here, and hopefully I think Corte Madera is in this area. So let me do this. Let me drag this out of the screen here. So let me go ahead and well, what's good is that I have this project here, and I usually give a DXF file for the crew to go out. So what I'll do, I'm going to show you guys. If you don't have a DXF, then you can just create a DXF. Now what that does is that allows you to figure out where you're at in this tile area, so you can start clipping the data you need. So let me just drag this in here. Okay. Okay. All right. So is that this here? Yeah, right there. Bam. All right. So now I know where this area is. Yeah, looks good. Oops, let me get rid of this. Let me pull this up now. So what I don't like is that it really doesn't show. You have to really zoom out. There you go to kind of see it. It's because of the the way Virtual Surveyor is programmed. The lines are, if you have 3D polylines, they'll come in like basically snapped on top of the digital terrain model. So So I know it's this. I know it's this guy here. It's the second one here. All right. I can see all those walls and everything. All right. So let me just start. I really don't need anything down here because I already have this whole thing really really going. Oh, I gotta take this call, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, back with you guys. Sorry about that. All right. So we got this DEM here. So let's start. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go. We're gonna get a new layer. Let's call this 104 walnut. All right. So we'll get this boundary going here. Let's draw this boundary, and let's draw it over here to the neighbors. Let's take it up high. These weird shapes here are the buildings that they've taken out. So let's not get those. This is all ground to ground, ground, ground. Looks like there's some type of trail or bench here, maybe even a road up there. Or a big retaining wall, some type deal. Okay. So actually, let me, yep, take it down to here, 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 here. All right. Okay, and I can always right click and edit this vertex and bring this down to here. All right. So now I want to select that boundary there. Let's go to point grid. Let's go to Q points. Let's go every, this point grid here is the the distance beats a vertical distance. So a typical topo shot, yeah, you'll probably get a shot every 2/10. So let's go, yeah, let's go 3/10 there. All right, so then it's gonna do its thing. This one went really quickly, so it gave you a shot kind of at pretty much every vertical change here. So this is a straight shot there, a straight shot. There's really no too much vertical relief, so it'll make the contours look a lot better. And a lot of these we can check with be interesting, we'll check with our existing topo, see how that goes. All right, so then now I select these, go to export, CSV, export survey. Let's go here, 2614 walnut survey. Let's go lidar points. All right, go ahead and save that in case we need it. So we'll go ahead and escape. Bring up the file here, 104 survey, lidar points. Now we got to edit these guys here. All right, so that's it's P E N Z D. So these we're just gonna type GS. Here's a trick I'll show you guys. I showed it on a previous video, but we're gonna need it here. Is you need to know what cells you want to copy. So I got F3 all the way to F537. So I'm gonna go to Control C and then Control G. F3 to what was it? F3 to 537. So I'm gonna go F3 colon F537. Not Control V though, it's all there. Boom. Okay. So actually, let me see. What point number are we going to start at here? These points, these lidar points. Looks like we can start at 2000. So let's start these at 2000. So let's go 2000. So I just gotta remember when I import these, delete this. Obviously you gotta remove these headers, but just know that it's point easting, northing. So let me go, let's see here. So so this is the same deal here. So let's go to A1 to A536. A1 to A536. So I'll select, let's go A1 to A536. All right. Now I'm gonna go series, fill series, step value 1, linear, all that's good, boom. And then it just made my point numbers all go in a line there. Okay. So file, now I can just file save. So now I should be able to actually, let me do this. Okay, so let's watch this. So I'm gonna insert these points, port points, survey, lidar points, P E N E Z E N Z D. Add points to point group. These point groups gonna be called lidar points. Right. Okay, so now I got the lidar points peppered throughout, which is great. I can check some of these here. Let me select my update. Kind of don't want to really update that yet, because it looks good how it was. So let me go to my lidar points. Let me select these. So really, what I kind of like to do, what I would like to do is, instead of importing these here, well, while we're here, let's just check them. Let's check how they. Let's check how they. So remember all the stuff in the 2000 and above are. So we got a 89 here. It looks pretty good. Yeah, it's 3/10, 4/10, not bad. It's the hard surfaces where it works really well. So let's see what we got. So we got a 73. I think this is a contour 73 right here. That's it, but oh, we gotta hover over it. 73, yeah, so 73. So that's actually pretty darn good. So, but all these things are gonna really tweak it out. Let me see what happens actually. It doesn't tweak it out too bad. So I might leave them in. I think it looks like it tweaks it out kind of bad over here. I'll take them out. So it looked good before. There you go. Yeah, it looks good before. So really what I want to do, let me just actually, oops. Let me delete all those lidar points. Let me do something like this. Just put it in a new drawing. Points from file. Lidar points. PENZD. Alright. And then now I go right here. Let's say I want to use this fence. I want everything outside this fence here. So just right click. Paste that original coordinates. So now I can kind of select. So I can really just delete all these. I can know kind of the boundary to delete stuff. Okay. I already checked the points. It looks good. They looked good. So almost right on the money. So I really got no complaints there. Maybe I'll keep some of these and I can delete them as I go if I need to. Okay, so just really deleting these. Alright, so now I can get rid of this. Right click that. Back into the 3D. Right click, paste the original coordinates. AutoCAD really doesn't like it when you copy and paste stuff, like especially points, Kogo points. So just be careful of that. Do an audit and regen. So I know now I want to, yeah, these points are from 2002. All right, update. Okay, that looks good. Cool. So now we really have a good representation. Looks like we got a little gap here. So add line here to there. Cool. So it looks a lot better. Now, obviously, again, you don't have any points here, so we're gonna delete these long points going to nowhere. Same thing here. Looks really bad. Clean that up. And obviously we don't need that junk either. Okay. And yeah. So now we got good representation there, another little gap. Edit services, add line. Let's see what happened there. So sometimes you just go from here to there, there to there. It's like it's got a crossing break line that it doesn't like for some reason. Yeah, there's some type of weird thing going here. So there's an imaginary break line. Oops. Yeah, so we gotta swap an edge. It's probably we gotta swap an edge. So let's see, let's add a line from here to there. Has something to do with this break line probably. Let's just delete it. I mean, we got a bunch of ground shots there anyways. There it goes. Yeah, it was something weird with that break line. Didn't like it. So that's okay. We fixed it. We figured it out. Looking good. Looks like so 1048, I gotta edit. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. So boom. So now what we do is finish making all the edits we need. Okay. So now we go down, scroll all the way down to data shortcuts. Right click, set working folder. 2614 DWG data ref. New project folder, and we just call that shortcut. Shortcut. And create data shortcut. PG, yes. Now we go to our master, and then we just right click it and we go to create reference. Official surface. I have all these surface style settings already. I'm not going to go over that. Okay, boom. It comes right in, looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Looks like we got a gap here we got to fix, so we can go back. Let's delete these here. So we got a gap here, some weird anomaly. There's another break line doesn't like. What break line? Resolve crossing break lines. So we can resolve these. Resolve. See if that's got anything to do with it. It's got a couple of weird gaps right here. There you go. Something weird doesn't like. There you go. So unfortunately, sometimes you gotta do that. You gotta kind of know the tricks of Civil. Can be a pain in the butt if you don't know what you're doing. Get rid of those guys. Is this? We gotta go back to the 3D. Yes, this is the 3D. So we'll delete that. Oops. Okay. And this one could probably leave. Delete it. All right. Yeah, you know what? I want to keep that one in there. See what I was talking about about the edits. I undo, I control Z and it delete a lot of my edits. That's because I edit all of these in one string, so to speak. So now I record those. All right. Then go to your master. Keep old reference name. Boom. All right. So then from here, you do the, you're gonna have to do the surface labeling. So you go to annotate, add labels, surface, multiple. We have these settings already. Major label, add. And we'll just drag this like that. Drag it like that. Here. Something like that. Okay. I think I can drag. You can, if you don't like where this ends up, you can kind of move it. Okay. Usually add them down the street too. Sometimes I'll go ahead and add the minors as well, just for context. And you can go even go single. You can add a single one here. Put your F3 on. Sometimes it does some weird thing like that. You just, that's how you fix that. Okay, so there's a contour line there. Let's give them a couple minors there. All right, how about this side? Let's give them some minors there. Let's give them something there. Okay. Bam. Alrighty, guys. So that concludes the video of how to get the 3D going. Alright, thanks for watching.